Mary, would you like to proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good evening. This is a meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council regular meeting on Wednesday, May 18, 2022. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times, and by posting at the Borough of Highlands Municipal Building and filing with the Borough Clerk, all on January 1st, 2022. Items listed in the agenda are subject to change. I will now call roll. Councilmember Cervantes.
Here.
Councilmember Shalat.
Here.
Councilmember Melnick.
Here.
Council President Wachowski.
Here.
Mayor Brion.
Here.
We have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, we have the EMS proclamation.
It's a proclamation for EMS Week. Whereas emergency medical service is a vital public service, and whereas members of emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas emergency medical services has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. Whereas the emergency medical service system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of the emergency medical services team, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved in recognition of this event that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Highlands do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through 21st, 2022 as Emergency Medical Services Week, rising to the challenge on this date, 18th of May, 2022.
Next, we have Public Works Week proclamation.
Proclamation for Public Works Week. Whereas public works services provided in our community are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, and whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of the public works system and programs such as water, sewers, streets and highways, public buildings, solid waste collection, and snow removal. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on these facilities and services, and whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, are vitally dependent on the efforts and skill of public work officials, whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitudes and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now, therefore, the Borough of Highlands urges our citizens to acquaint themselves with the problems involved in providing our public works and to recognize the contributions which public work officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. On this day, 18th of May, 2022.
At this time we have May 4th, 2022 meeting minutes. I'll offer them.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Chak?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Ochesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve May 4th, 2022 meeting minutes. Next, we have May 4th, 2022 executive session minutes.
I'll offer. I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Chak?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Ochesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve May 4th, 2022 executive session minutes. Next, we have introduction of proposed ordinances. O-2211, ordinance repealing Chapter 21, zoning and land use regulations, Part 7, flood damage prevention, Article 24, flood damage prevention, Sections 21-109 through 21-127, and replacing it with a new Article 24, floodplain management regulations to adopt flood hazard maps and to designate a floodplain administrator.
This is one of those ordinances that are required by the DEP that we update from time to time, and now is the time that we're updating this one. So with that, I will offer. I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Chak?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Ochesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading, with a public hearing to be held on June 15th, 2022. It is going to be passed on to land use for consistency review. Next, we have O-2212, ordinance removing restricted parking space in front of a residence occupied by persons with disabilities.
And this ordinance is there because the folks that were in this home have moved, so there no longer needs to be that space designated, and with that, I'll offer it. I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Chak?
Yes.
Councilmember Melton?
Yes.
Council President Ochesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading. A public hearing will be held on June 1st, 2022. Next, we have public hearing on proposed ordinances. O-2210, ordinance of the Borough Council of the Borough of Highlands in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, adopting the Central Business District Redevelopment Plan pursuant to the Local Redevelopment and Housing Law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 at SEEK.
I will offer. Oh, that's right. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address this? I offer. Close to the public, thank you. Are there any comments? At the table? Then I offer.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
I abstain.
Councilmember Chak?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Before I vote, I just want to say thank you to the Land Use Board for all the effort that they put in getting us to this day. Thank you to our professionals for all the work that they've gone through, the iterations, getting us to this day. Thank you for the hard work for the mayor, our professionals on the stage for getting us to this day, so that we can finally get hopefully closer to that borough vision for 2020, of the Central Avenue Business District, which will be revitalized as a borough retail, service, and entertainment hub with a low vacancy rate, an enhanced streetscape, and a lively street activity. It's a goal with the growth for the borough, for the tax base to be expanded, and the tax burden on the residential property owners to be reduced, for the improvement of local quality of life, enhanced residential stability for the existing and new residents. So with that, I vote yes.
Council President Ochesky?
Here. Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Abstain.
Okay. Motion carries. This ordinance passed on second and final reading. Next, we have consent agenda. Mayor, would you like me to read the resolutions by title?
Yes, please.
We have R22-130, urging support efforts for availability of maritime pump-out facilities. R22-131, resolution authorizing payment of bills. R22-132, resolution urging the New Jersey Legislature to amend the budget cap law to appropriate funds for increasing insurance costs.
I'll offer the consent agenda.
May I say something?
Oh, sure.
I was just about the, marine pump out facilities.
Yes.
I just found out tonight, Twin Lakes Marina, already has one. He sells gas and he also has a pump out facility. You buy gas from him and the pump out facility is of course. Bars sells gas, but doesn't have one. And I'm not sure about Gateway, Bakers, or One Yellow. I don't think Bakers has, and they don't sell gas, but those are the two. I just wanted to mention that there is one in town.
There's one in town, but there are very few in the Bay Shore. So what this resolution is about is to, urge both the state and the county to get together. You hear on the news, everyone's got this windfall of all of this money. Well, it would be nice to get some more, because Keyport doesn't have one. I don't believe Hazlet has one at all. So they're just going few and far between. So this is just to get a little bit of pressure on our county and state folks to help get more of these facilities that support all of our marinas. Sounds good. Do I have a second for the consent agenda? I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes?
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Olszewski?
Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolutions R22-130 through R22-132. Next, we have other business, WW2 plaque.
Yes, during, one of the firemen was doing some work on the building, and they recovered the original World War II plaque that is found in, well, the replica is found in, Veterans Park. And, we are in the process of getting that over to Walt Gunter, who's one of our historians, and he's going to, clean it up and bring it back to its original glory. And while I was at a meeting with the veterans yesterday of VFW and American Legion to discuss the Memorial Day ceremony, I told them about this, and the administrator made a great offer to say that we should have this in our borough building once it's finished. The plaque originally was where the bus stop now stands on Miller Hill, and this way, in the building, it can remain on Miller Hill and still be a nice homage to our veterans that lost their lives during this war. That's good. And that it can be seen by a lot of people. It won't have to be, you don't have to deal with the weather and all that other kind of good stuff. So they were very, very excited that it had been found, but they thought somebody might also do it. So they were very excited about that.
Maybe agree with the suggestion as well.
Oh, absolutely. They want it to be visible. They want it to never go missing again. And they feel that would be the best place for it to be, under the eye of our police department. And before I kick it over to the other reports, just a couple of things going on around town over the next couple of weeks, and that is there's a free Highlands Reiki Clinic that's going to be at the firehouse on May 21st. There's a Mayor's Wellness Campaign, Fitness with the Phoenix, that's here on May 22nd. The Lions Club is having their pancake breakfast, that's also here on May 29th from 9 to 12. We will have COVID vaccine and boosters that will be here June 2nd. The Highlands kicking off the summer bonfire will be on the beach at June 3rd. Mayor's Wellness Campaign Yoga with Lorna will be here on June 5. And then we will have a free concert of the Hazlet Jazz Project, and that will be on June 10th. And with that, we will go to committee reports.
Can I ask one question about this? Its origins, did it include when it was first?
Yes, has some historical history.
Perfect.
Got it.
Oh, kick it off. So with communications, our most recent meeting in May, we recapped some of the changes with our digital asset management. And so as we know, we brought on Zumo to help us out with the management of our borough website, making sure we've got stability there. And then talked about some of the capabilities that we might have to leverage with the SDL contract that we had signed as well through the shared services agreement. So the folks are excited about that. Unlocking those capabilities made more ability to bring campaigns out to donors, taking it beyond social media and then bringing the traffic to our authoritative site at low or no cost is always improving that access for the public. And while we do want to say more than social media, we continue to grow our social media. Just looking back year over year on Instagram right now, the borough page or the borough Instagram site, 1,200 followers, over 1,200 followers. Looking back a year, about 1,000, so 20% year over year growth. On Facebook, we're over 2,800 followers on Facebook last year. This time, 2,200, so they're 27% year over year growth. So we continue to grow. As we get into the summer months, we're looking to kick off more campaigns, attract more attention. This is our busy months. These are our busy months, so we'll do more campaigns to get more followers as more folks come to town. We also discussed how do we get folks aware of all the activities going on at Borough Hall. Let them know that, hey, Mr. Misala has that in mind already with cameras to take a time lapse as we see the construction happen over time. We can already see construction underway, but it'll be nice to have that beginning to end picture as we go through the construction process. And then where there's additional kind of conversation around potential other ways to promote interest in Highlands as the summer comes closer. For shade trees, not a whole lot to report here other than the trees we were looking to maybe get in as soon as the spring season. Looks like we're going to have to wait until around August. Connected with Spencer, and he indicated that the nurseries that we're looking to work with for the specimens that we were interested in for Bay, soonest they're going to be in stock again is August. So that's frustrating, but supply and demand. We will look to see if there's anything we can do to accelerate anything in the interim. But right now, the soonest we're looking at is August there. And then lastly, for open space, we're working to develop a new map to make available both digitally and also in print. Just to highlight the open spaces on parks, the promenades, and then public parking as well. And how we're going to do that, we partnered with Chris Fair, who's our teacher up at the high school. She joined our meeting in April. She heard our requirements. Mark and I, Mark Luco, the chairperson of open space, we walked through the parks, all through the town, make sure we confirm all the attributes. She's got an inventory, so she'll be working with some of the seniors, and we'll be competing to design this map, which should be ready for the end of the school year for us to select the winner. So we're looking forward to that partnership between the town and our students up at HHRS. You already knocked off our rec event, so you got it covered. So, Joanne?
Okay. General school news. The elementary school is once again this summer going to run the Summer STEAM Learning Academy, which was very successful last summer. It will take place from July 25th through August 11th. There were 9 students at the elementary school from grades K through 6. There's 2 sections of grade 2, hence the 9 were named Soaring Osprey for the month of April. Administrative news that is worthy. I wasn't here for the meeting last month, so I'm a little late reporting this, and most people probably know. But Lenore Kingsmore, a Visionary Leadership Award Principal at HHR, has announced her resignation and will retire. Vincent Esposito, also of Henry Hudson, the Dean of Students and Head of Athletics at Henry Hudson, has resigned and will be going on to the Middletown schools. And additionally, within the Tri-District in February, Lori Skidinski, who was the principal of Atlantic Highlands Elementary School, has also resigned and has been replaced with an interim principal. Dr. Baines introduced a rather complicated interlocal designation between Atlantic Highlands Elementary, Highlands Elementary, and Henry Hudson Regional, which introduced the sharing of commensurate time and cost for several supervisors, specialists, administrative assistants, and teachers, along with the creation of a new post, which will be a tri-district supervisor of buildings and grounds. Before I go on, I wanted to point out the enrollment for the 21-22 school year. So from Highlands, at Henry Hudson Regional, we had 131 total students from grades 7 through grades 12. Plus, from Highlands, there are 25 students in the vocational schools and 15 in non-publics. The total enrollment, including Atlantic Highlands students at the high school, or grades 7 through 12, is 306 students. At the Highlands Elementary School, there are 179 students from pre-K through grade 6. So total Highlands students, 179 in the elementary and 131 in the high school, equals 310 students in the public schools. The budget. The Henry Hudson projected regional budget is $3,908,120 that will be raised in taxes from Highlands. The Highlands Elementary School, $4,283,568 that will also be raised in taxes from Highlands, for a total at this point of $8,191,688. I mention these things because regionalization may very well be coming to play. As you know, the potential exists to dissolve the current tri-district, both Highlands and Atlantic Highlands Elementary plus Henry Hudson Regional, and form a new truly regionalized district, which could also include Seabright. In the past few months, both Seabright and Highlands have contacted the Commission of Education of New Jersey seeking permission to add a referendum in which voters of Seabright and Highlands could decide whether to regionalize our schools, dissolve the 25-member 3 boards of education, and consolidate into a truly regionalized district with one overarching board of education officially in total. We await Atlantic Highlands action on this at this point. Seabright has a small number of students, 45, who over the next few years would migrate to our schools. In addition to welcoming these students, the financial contributions that would accompany them would be significant to both Highlands and Atlantic Highlands. Whether or not you have children who are students in the school, we strongly encourage you to attend 2 meetings that will be held over the next couple of weeks. On May 25th, at 7 p.m., Dr. Beans and the 25 members of the boards of education at Henry Hudson, Highlands Elementary, and Atlantic Highlands Elementary will host a meeting to unveil the latest commission regionalization study. As none of the school board meetings are recorded, and in some cases the minutes may be brief, attendance at this meeting will be of great importance to each borough, its students, and taxpayers. On June 8th at 6:30, Highlands will host a meeting here at the community center along with the law firm of Porzio, Bromberg, and Newman, who hired the experts who conducted the original study released in September 2019 and the updated study released in December of 2021. In addition, the firm of Porzio, Bromberg, and Newman were involved in the only school regionalizations that have taken place in New Jersey since 1990. At this meeting, we will discuss the ramifications of both studies plus the new study with regards to Highlands students, parents, and taxpayers. The implications of low enrollments and rising educational costs behoove us to pursue all possible ways to seek the best education possible for our students and their parents, as well as the most prudent financial costs for our taxpayers. If you're unable to attend these meetings, consider the following. Atlantic Highlands will be having a meeting on Monday, June 6th, and Seabright will be having a meeting on June 13th. Thank you. Oh, and in terms of financial report, next meeting, I just got from JR the latest actual sales data, including all of 2021, and I will update that along with what we have and present that at the next meeting. Okay. You ready?
Yeah, green team, I don't have much, but the next green team meeting is on, May 24th at 7 o'clock. It's going to be via Zoom. And also I wanted to say that, we all got an email today on Sustainability Summit for Sustain New Jersey. It's on June 24th. It's 8 to 4 p.m. It's nearby, Palmdale. And Nancy can register us all. So, I encourage everybody, I will be going to it. And that's about it.
Leo, do you have anything for next meeting?
Not today.
Does anyone have anything else that they want to say before we open up to the public? Open it to the public?
Individuals wishing to address the council shall be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their name, address, and the group, if any, they represent. Although the council encourages public participation, it reserves the right through its presiding officer to terminate remarks to and/or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. If any individual refuses to conduct themselves in a proper manner, they will be removed from the meeting. The council will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving employment, appointments, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion, or discipline of any specific or prospective or current employee. There's a 3-minute time limit for your comments. Please state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Warren. I live at 102 Valley Avenue. I'm here representing myself. I have just a few questions as to whether or not there's an update on the construction project that's going on 1400 Peach Street, which is directly above my property. I have a laundry list of things. I don't think I need to go over them right now. People who are looking into this know what those are. I do have one question to ask, which sort of is an umbrella over all of this, whether or not the building is in violation of the steep slope ordinance. And if he is, then there's a lot of things that he shouldn't be doing and that are ongoing with that. There was a few weeks ago some issues with erosion because the builder neglected to put up a silt fence. 2 days after I had sent an email about that, we put up a silt fence. But that was almost 6 months after he started the project. There should have been a silt fence installed immediately upon the removal of all the trees. So it seems as if there's no site plan, and when I read the ordinance, he's circumvented some procedure or the proper order in which a project on a steep slope should be reviewed. So I'm just wondering if there's any update tonight or the engineer.
Sure. I actually found out this afternoon that a stop work order was issued for him. Don't know the particulars of it yet, but I can find out. So as of right now, nothing's happened.
Okay, that was one of my questions that happened. So, anything from Mr. Matlack?
Well, I can tell you that he does not have an approved grading plan. You're correct about that. I believe he has submitted an application to the land use board, or is maybe preparing to submit one. That's the direction that I gave him, that's what he should do.
Any inkling as to what he might be asking for in the way of relief regards to?
I haven't seen his application, or if he submitted one.
Yeah, I believe what he did is he's asking for the 200-foot list, or that's what he was asking for at the time. But I think that's as far as it got.
The stop work order was issued by Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, answer my questions. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? We'll close public portion.
Next, we have executive session. Executive session will be held following the regular council meeting. Prior to each executive session, the Borough Council will convene in open session, at which time a resolution will be adopted in accordance with NJSA 10:4-13. No formal action will be taken during the executive session. Be it resolved that the following portion of this meeting shall not be open to the public. Be it further resolved that private consideration is deemed required and is permitted because of the following noted exceptions set forth in the Act: attorney-client privilege for redevelopment and personnel. Be it further resolved that it is anticipated that the matters will be considered in private at a later date when the need for privacy no longer exists.
I'll make that offer.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Trapp?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Ochesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brion?
Yes.
Motion carries to enter executive session.
Thank you all for coming out. Have a good night. Enjoy this weather.
May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:43. Thank you, everyone.
What was that?